On this week's episode of the 365 Message Center Show, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but here's kind of our top three, maybe. Maybe they're top. Maybe they're just three random ones we selected. One is we're going to be able to remove a item in your activity feed in Teams. We're going to be able to remove items, specific ones you want to get rid of. Also, when you're in...
Hey, Daniel. I know I don't usually interrupt with intros, but get excited about that one.
You totally interrupted me.
Oh.
That's okay, but I can continue. The next one we're going to do is all about... actually, the next two that I'm with is about in Outlook. We're going to be able to watch videos that people send us right in Outlook. We're not going to have to pop out and watch those stream videos. And we're going to be able to chat right there in Outlook, not pop out a new window or another pane or anything. It's going to be right there. We'll be able to chat people up in our organization. So stick around for those and more.
But not much more.
Just a few more.
Just a few more.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome to episode, I don't know what it is, 312.
312.
I'm tired, Daryl.
You got good reason to be tired.
Well, yeah, because I flew all the way to Amsterdam, and boy, my arms are tired. Whew, that was a bad one.
Doing your best turkey impression?
Yes, that's right. Yes, I am at ESPC this week in Amsterdam. So if you were there, come get stickers. I have stickers, please. I don't want to bring them home. I have many of them. I have the special edition ones. I have the classic ones, kind of like Teams Classic, but more awesomer. So come find me, and I'd love to give you some stickers. So, Daryl,
yeah.
While people are here, how do they get notified when we release, versions, episodes of our podcast?
Well, they follow a couple of social tags. That would be 365 MCS on all the socials that matter. They also need to follow you, Daniel, because you're far more active than I am. I just, occasionally chip in on the public conversation, the zeitgeist of 365 activity.
Yeah, but when you do, it's so meaningful. So we really appreciate it. Thank you, Daryl.
I'm like that guy that pretends to be wise at the back of the room that when they, hey, Daryl, what do you think? And I chip in with something very, very deep. And then I wonder, where did that come from? Oh, yeah, it's deep. We get deep in it. It's like, anyway. Yeah.
People who grew up on a farm would know what I'm talking about. So, yes, make sure you give us a thumbs up on this message. Click the thumbs up, please, and subscribe. We'd love to also have you in chat, right? And giving us feedback in the comments down below. Mm-hmm. Chat us up on the socials. So we'd love to.
Oh, hey, when you do leave your comments on the YouTube videos, make use sometimes of that feature where you can include the time code. That's kind of handy. There's actually something new in YouTube where you can view the comments based on time code. So it almost feels like you're part of a live chat. Kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. You know what else is kind of cool, Daryl? When you receive an invite to a meeting and you can kind of tell what it conflicts with in your calendar.
Yes, I know precisely what you mean. And so the message we will talk about now, quick conflict peak when you RSVP on calendar event details page, MC692756. This is when you have received a message and it's, rather a meeting invite, and it will, say, do you want to RSVP to this? It might say, hey, you have 2 conflicts, but you can't see them. You can't see them at that first glance of the message. You need to click on RSVP, and then you can before you respond, of course, you check it out, and I can see, yes, okay, there's the meeting or two that's happening at the same time. I might propose a new time. I might say, no, I can't make it, sorry. Now, wouldn't it be great if we could see that, if we could sort of peek maybe at that conflict and make a quick decision then? And that's what this is supposedly bringing. But Daniel,
but Daryl,
we've got some feelings about that.
Well, but Daryl, shouldn't we be able to see, a quick, what is this, a conflict peak? What does that mean? Does that mean we're going to have to hover? Does that mean we're going to have to click? Why doesn't it just show? Because you just said you have to click RSVP and blah, 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 blah. Well, you could also respond immediately and not, go through that process. But why do we have to go and why can't we just see it where it says one conflict or two or whatever, and it's just shows us right there? Why do we have to do that, Daryl?
Well, I agree, Daniel. And the origin of a peak, which is, I remember meeting the guy who he said he was on credit for creating the peak feature in the original Outlook desktop, hovering over your calendar, and it would come up and show this is what's coming. Yeah, peaking, exactly. And I don't think that that's what this is, because you're not hovering over something to peek and see it's just that it's
what would also be
be
great about this, Daryl, if they actually told us how it's going to function.
Oh, like a screenshot or something like that?
Or anything. Describe it in words or screenshot or anything. That would be great. But no, we've got
It's actually such a short message that we've got a message summary and not how does this impact your users?
Yeah.
Because it's all in the summary.
Yeah. Like read the thing up there. I don't know.
But we should be finding out soon. Standard release, it starts rolling out in early December, so that will be in about a weekish time. And then we'll know actually what it looks like. I still feel like it's going to be one click away, so it's probably not going to be too much different from what we see now. But we'll move on from this. Daniel, I think we should talk about something a bit more interesting than that.
I don't have anything like that. But the next message is remove activity feed item in new teams. MC692466. Yes, in new teams, we're going to be able to basically right click on a message on an item in your activity feed and say, see ya. There's going to be a remove along with your whole mark unread. Which mark unread's fun. It's for those of us that see something, we're like, oh, I need to come back to that, so I need to mark it unread. Well, now I don't need to come back to that. I need it to never be seen again, so I'm going to click remove. At least we have a screenshot that helps. But this again is a small message. One thing I do want to point out is we have the information here under the message summary. We have the screenshot. And then right below it, it says, after an activity feed is removed, the user is informed through a toast notification, nothing.
Something.
So I think we're missing a screenshot, probably, showing us what that toast notification means. But so this is rolling out mid-December and expected to be completed by late December for those in targeted release, and then standard early February. Wow. Completed by mid-February. So if you want this, you're going to have to be in targeted release because you're not going to get it until February. So, great. This is a nifty little tool. What would be even more nifty, Daryl, is instead of having to be in Teams to chat people, is to chat with people through Teams, but while I'm looking at them in email, like an email message.
Yeah. Yep. Well, maybe you'll have that, Daniel. Teams chat embedded in Outlook on web. Enterprise. MC692028. Interesting they call it enterprise. So this is let's think about this. What do we have today? Think of Outlook on the web. Up in the top right hand corner, you've got your Let's have a look here quickly. Teams call. Then you've got a little chat bubble. Maybe you've got a OneNote icon as well. A few other things there. If you wanted to start a Teams chat, you can click on the chat bubble and it will open up a separate window or a new tab and take you through Teams. It just went back to the last place where I was using Teams, which was my calendar and not chat. Just saying. But this is going to be quite an improvement, clearly, if it first of all guides me to chat. But I will stay in Outlook and it will allow me to start a chat within Outlook. So I'm still within the Outlook experience. Now, this will be quite handy for, let's say, as Daniel said, you're reading a message, you hover over and say, oh, that colleague of mine is available now. I can start a chat conversation with them and ask them a question about the message rather than replying an email. I know I've used this joke plenty of times, but this is yet another parody feature which we could do in Skype for Business, and glad to see it back. What do you think, Daniel? Going to find it useful? Are you in Outlook on the web much?
Indeed. I am. Yep. That is my, used to be, pretty much my preferred. I'm now using the new Outlook for Windows a lot, which is, basically the same thing. But yeah, so we'll see if I use this. I think it is very interesting, kind of a workflow of, hey, I want to say something to someone, but don't have to jump into Teams. I can do it right there and keep working through my emails. I think that could be really useful.
So this is going to come later to the new Outlook. We know that new Outlook is basically Outlook on the web, but here's a clear indication that it's not exactly the same. It's not like it's iframe in your OWAN, that it won't be available yet, this feature of being able to have embedded chat in new Outlook. But coming. There'll be investments there, as they say. Moving on to something similar, let's just stick around in Outlook, Daniel, and there might be something else that we might want to do while we are in Outlook.
Like write emails, check your calendar, or maybe watch videos. Stream videos can now be watched inline in Outlook MC692026. This is the capability where someone sends you a stream video link, right? So they're in stream, meaning they're watching a video on Teams or in SharePoint or OneDrive where the file is, and then they copy that link to that video and say, "Oh, I want someone, I want you to watch this video." When they paste that in, it is going to be in Outlook, show you the actual video and be able to play the video right there and not have to jump out to a browser to watch that video. So, pretty slick, I think. This is obviously, I think, it's the same organization. So, if the person who sends you this link is within your organization, it's going to work. I think that is, and if you're not using the new stuff, if you're not using the new web or the new Outlook or Outlook on the web, then you'll just see a link, right? And you'll be able to get to it. But yeah, fun. I don't like having to jump out, and we've already talked about this a couple times now. I don't like to jump out of an application I'm in to just see content. So yeah, I'm liking it. Are you going to use this, Daryl? You think? Do you share videos like this in email?
Yeah.
Within your normal working.
Yeah, I take a link through to something that maybe I've recorded a video to explain something a bit more in more depth, visually, and I'll drop it into. Well, usually in OneDrive, it's something that's not really meant for a whole lot of people, a wider audience, and yeah, that will be quite useful. As I'm looking at this, and I sort of don't really see anything specific around what parts of Outlook on the web will support this, but can you imagine going to, let's say, a recap of your meeting, which we can do in Teams, but imagine being able to do that in Outlook on the web and also being able to play through the video recording of the meeting that you attended.
I don't see why you won't be able to. It's any right.
Hmm.
It's a stream video, so why not a meeting recording? Now, what will be interesting is how can we get some more of that meeting recap
Mm-hmm.
information in Outlook as part of this experience. Now, I think that's something
Yeah.
that we can maybe
Yeah.
get an improvement on. So, Mark or any of you wonderful stream people listening, let's hook up with the Teams group and figure out how we can get that meeting recap information here, because I think that would be very useful. Here's a video. Oh, here's also meeting recap
Hmm.
information. When I paste a link to a meeting recording, do you want to include the recap stuff? Sure. That would be
Yeah.
interesting. I know there's some trickery or some tricky things, I guess I should say, involved there because of, Teams premium versus not, whatever. But, some of the non-premium stuff recap, it would be kind
Hmm.
of cool to include
Well,
that.
Daniel, did you
Anyway, but
see?
I like this. I like being able to again watch those videos right within
Did
my
you see
email.
the announcement about being able to record a stream video in Outlook to be able to send to people? So I feel like this is the groundwork for that coming feature.
Yeah, I think so, because if you think about the back end of it, when you're going to record that video, I'm assuming that video is going to be stored in your
Yeah.
OneDrive, and therefore it's just going to put a link in there and use this functionality. Right? You've recorded a video. I'm sending it to Daryl. He's in my organization. It uploads that video. It stores it in OneDrive, but it's showing it in Outlook, and they can play it as we're talking about here. So I think you're
Great.
exactly right on that. So this is going to begin rolling out December 2023. So at some point during that month, expect to complete by March of 2024. So sometime in March, use a dartboard and you could probably figure it out. So again, excited about that. Let's switch gears, can we? Let's get out of email. I've had enough email for this episode, Daryl. Let's talk about mobile a little bit, please, sir.
And specifically about people's details from mobile to a profile card in Teams Mobile, MC692023. I find profile cards really useful. I especially as I'm working with people in different places around the world, one of my favorite things to do is hover over and see, what time zone are they currently in? Are they 2 hours behind, 3 hours ahead? And I can get a sense of what time of day and how much energy I can inject into that to help. No, that's not the measure. But anyway, among other things, the profile card has become a lot more than just here's some contact details. I can see recent activity. I can see other things that indicate where they are in the organization. And to have some consistency, the profile card in Teams Mobile is getting quite an injection of capability. This is a good message, Daniel. As you pointed out to me while we were preparing, that it is one where there's a couple of good screenshots that prepare us and show us for what's coming. So thank you to the team who included that. And I can say like this is actually good in the sense that it's giving us a lot of what we could get from desktop, but in Teams Mobile. Showing things like, are they in a call right now? When are they going to be free next? And some of the organizational data. But the other thing, Daniel, is it's kind of context aware too, that if you are an org that uses shifts, for example, the screenshot they've given us, you could see, what's it say? Show all your shifts for a certain group that you're in, and that maybe you could view your own shift schedule or set your availability for taking on shifts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. And for the shifts, when we're talking about shifts, we're talking about frontline. We're talking about, people who are on mobile way more than they're on desktop, especially when they're in your organization, right? You want them to be in front of your customers. They're doing something. They're not at a computer typically when you're using shifts. So having it on mobile, being able to do those kind of things, I think is key, and it's very important to have that functionality on mobile So, having, bringing that here, I think that's just totally logical for it to be there. And, again, being able to see not just, what they're contacted them, their email, their phone number, whatever, but also seeing when they're available, when I can talk to them, but seeing again, their time zones, when can they, if it's not frontline, but then, when ships, being able to, hey, look at, their availability. When can they be available, for taking my shift or,
Yeah.
I mean, because seriously, if that's what I'm looking for somebody, I'm probably like, hey, can they take my shift?
Yeah.
So
I think
I think it's good.
You made a good point too around for those who that's where they do most of the work from in terms of devices and connecting to the org of frontline workers. That's giving them more of an equal experience for finding that information. So this is when do we expect this to arrive? Targeted release late November, so maybe this week. And complete late December, and standard release begin rollout early January 2024 and complete late January 24. That's our last message, Daniel.
Yeah.
Record time.
Yes, it's amazing. But, for those of you that are still here, thank you very much. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, because hopefully we brought you value. Even if it wasn't about the messages and it was just a bit of humor, hopefully we brought some value to your day. We greatly appreciate that. And how about sharing out the episode to your friends or colleagues? Post it in the all company teams. That's where all of your your chat should go anyway, is in your general channel of all company. Go ahead and put in there, hey, I watched this show and everyone in the company should watch it too, and paste a link. We'd greatly appreciate it. I will say a disclaimer, we are not responsible for any kind of blowback from this or any issues that you may experience because you did post that.
And we're not going to cover your legal fees, like some offer to do that. Yeah,
no, we are not. I can't. It's not that I don't want to, because I want to take care of our listeners. It's just I can't.
Where are we going with this, man?
But we're here for you in spirit.
Oh, it's so much fun when we don't have the audience actually right in front of us and giving us cheek. But Daniel, next week, you are there right now. Sorry, ESPC. If you are listening to this episode and you are at that conference this week, then go over to Daniel's sessions and give him some cheekiness. Sorry, cheeky. Yeah.
Wow. And there's some translation thing there that I think we're going to get in trouble with. So maybe we should move on. But remember, I have stickers. So yes, come see me. But whatever Daryl said,
listen to his session and learn and line up and talk to him afterwards and ask for stickers and then get cheeky. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening to this episode. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time, we hope you have a wonderful week.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.